So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome everybody to our Wednesday, February the 4th meeting of the Council of Thames Center. The time is 5 p.m. and I would like to call this meeting to order. I'm looking for a mover and a seconder to approve the agenda as circulated. Deputy Mayor Smybert, seconded by Councillor Crockett. All in favor? And that carries. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest from the members of council? Seeing none, we'll move on to reports of departments. And the first item on the agenda is 4.1, a report from our CAO regarding the 2026 budget. So Ms. Belchamber, when you're ready.
Thank you, Your Worship, and to Council. I've provided an overview of a report of the status of the decisions that Council has made to date with respect to the 2026 budget. There was a request following the report that had been directed to be provided to Council with respect to the land purchase and financing options, and some discussion that took place following that report, and a direction to provide a summary of that with options for potential tax reductions. So just walking you through where you're at with respect to the decisions that have already been made and what options are available to you, especially based on, current situation, knowing that we are still working towards getting some financial information done for year end, and, want to make sure we're providing as accurate as information as we can, but also knowing that we are still working towards finalizing 2024 year end. I don't have to go through all of the components of the report, but just in terms of generally, what are the options available to you if you were looking to aim for a decrease? There are decisions that were presented and already considered and decided upon during the budget presentation with respect to increased options. Those tend to be the area where you could more easily reduce the tax rate. In this case, if you were to make a decision to reverse those, that is a bit of a process with respect to reconsideration. So any of those elements, either increased services or the increase to the fleet component of asset management planning, would be available, just a bit of a process to get there. The other options in terms of reducing the tax rate would be focusing then instead on a specific service area that you were considering where you would want to make reductions. And as staff, we would look for some direction to council if that was an area you wanted to go to. The other option is the one where you are reducing using existing funding or using existing funds and directing them towards operating costs, which we wouldn't recommend just because that puts you behind for the following year, but it is an option that's available to council. So that's a brief summary of the report, and I think it's with council to decide and provide further direction. But if you're ready to go with the budget, I think there's a motion with respect to that as well.
Thanks. So I will then turn it over to council to see if they have any questions at all. Deputy Mayor Smybert.
Yes, thank you. I don't have any questions, and I'm prepared to move the recommended staff motion.
Okay, we have a mover and a seconder is Councillor Crockett, or a question. Okay, go ahead.
I have the fancy mic. It's telling me what to do. Sorry, got distracted there. Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to say thank you to staff. I know that we had some lengthy discussions at the budget meeting back in December of kind of what we could and couldn't do. And I think that there was big ideas of potentially lowering the tax levy for this year with that EDA-IVA discussion. It doesn't seem to be the case, and I think it's pretty important that we maintain levels that we've created, in addition to the ones that were proposed, just to ensure that the residents are getting what they're essentially paying into. And I think that's really important. And to the point that our CAO just made, I don't want to put any deficit or challenges in place for a potential next term of council. So with that, I'm comfortable seconding the motion on the table.
Okay, we have the motion on the floor, moved and seconded. So I'll call the question. All in favor? And none are opposed. Is Councillor Heeman online yet? Okay, all right. So that passes then. Thank you. And I would also like to echo the comments made by Councillor Crockett and our thanks to staff for all the hard work that's been put into this and all the little bits of extra work we're having to do this year. Great job. So thank you very much. We'll move on now. Then I believe that is. I don't think we have anything else but going into closed session. And am I right about that, Jana?
That is correct. The only other business, it's a one item business and then into closed. Yep.
So council will now be moving into closed session for which there will be no live streaming. The live stream will resume once the closed session portion has been completed. So a mover and a seconder that council adjourn into closed session at 5:07 PM pursuant to section 239 3.1 of the Municipal Act 2001 for the purposes of training members of council. Staff will provide an overview of the Planning Act and rules. No decisions will be made during the closed session. A mover and seconder. Moved by Deputy Mayor Smyberg and seconded by Councillor Lockie. All in favor?